Man, you guys got quiet all of a sudden. I'll forget that when we're done. Did you get lunch? Good. I don't want to get chastised. We'll wait till 3 o'clock, so nobody says we started early. All right, 3 o'clock. Thank you all for being here today. As you remember, on March the 6th at 11:30 a.m., we had mayhem break out at the racetrack gas station on 44 in New Smyrna. You had a battle royal with gunfire between the Mongols and, Warlocks. Thank you. I'm at that certain age now. Bullets were flying. Innocent people were there. Children. Busy, busy, busy day. So we're going to play you a little video clip of what went on. It's only one angle. We got tons and tons of cell phone video that came in. So we'll show you the racetrack footage, and then we'll introduce everybody that's here. Are you playing behind me or? Yeah. Behind me? Okay, so we'll step around. So as you can tell, we have a catchy name. Mongolian beef was the name of this operation. We will not mention who named that Mongolian beef. Now, you know we had hours to prepare for this, right? I forget something. IT forgets something. I know the minute I introduce everybody, the thing goes off. Yeah, we'll come back to the video. Okay. So anyway, on March the 6th, 11:30 a.m., the Mongols pull in. Clearly, they knew the Warlocks were there, and they were going to attack them. And everybody you see here, within an hour of that shooting, joined forces to send a clear message that we are not going to tolerate violence, and in particular gang violence, not only in this community, but in the state of Florida. And joining me here is our state attorney, R.J. Larizza, FBI Jacksonville Special Agent in Charge, Jason Carley, New Smyrna Beach Police Chief, Chris Kirk, DeLand Police Chief, Jason Umberger, and our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is here as well. So the investigation begins immediately, and New Smyrna takes the lead, and we begin getting tons of video, not only video from the racetrack, but video from people in their cars who videotaped everything. FBI and our detectives, New Smyrna Beach detectives, DeLand, painstakingly went through every single frame of video, and they were able to identify 31 individuals that were responsible for that. As a result of that, we got 31 arrest warrants issued and 16 search warrants issued. The impetus behind all that was Chief Deputy Brian Henderson and Chief Deputy of the State Attorney's Office, John Reed. They sat down and they started to formulate, how do we proceed here? What kind of charges can we get? And they both agreed that the felony aggravated riot statute fit. And the state attorney and his brilliant staff, along with the FBI, began this painstaking journey to get to where we are today. So we're talking the VCSO, the land, NSB, FBI, Homeland Security, DEA, and the FBI and the Richmond Police Department, and 9 sheriff's offices around the state this morning at 5 a.m. began executing those arrest warrants and those search warrants. Right now, as I speak to you, 28 people are in custody. We've recovered 30 handguns and 15 long guns. Clint Walker, who was the state rep, you would see when the video comes up, it's what they do is they see that the Warlocks are there. There's a couple Mongols are there. You see them make some comments. It looks like they make some phone calls. They're sending text messages. And within 10 minutes, they leave their clubhouse in Edgewater, and they are at the NSB location, and they flood the area. They ring the Warlocks, and then all hell breaks loose. Eventually, we're able to identify 7 people that are armed, 4 people who shot. 3 of those 4 people that shot were involved in a shooting last year in Titusville, where they surrounded a group of Warlocks on US 1 and opened fire on them. Clint Walker was arrested that day. This morning, we were in Edgewater for Robert Manns, who was a shooter. We took over 20 firearms out of his house, and I can't tell you how much ammunition came out. And then I'm going to have to ask the AG for a favor on this one. I'm going to need a scholarship, if you can give me one, to Alligator Alcatraz. Port Orange resident Carlos Cardona Batista, who was arrested today and who was here in the country illegally. So I don't know if you can get us a scholarship for him, sir, but we would really appreciate that. One of the shocking things that came out of this, I think, was when you wonder why crime is the way it is and how people view things differently. At 7:53 this morning in Virginia, the FBI and Richmond PD lock up a Timothy Stevens on our arrest warrant, no bond. And a magistrate by the name of Barnett, his quote is, "I'm not bound by Florida law." At 10:22 a.m., locked up 7:53 a.m., 10:22 a.m., he walks free out of there. Now, I'll tell you, we're dealing with a lot of scumbags here, and I'm adding that magistrate to that list. Somebody that came into our community and destroyed it, and some magistrate in Virginia says this isn't serious enough, you guys go do something else to come and get him. So that's where we are right now, and I'll let everybody come up here and add in what they have to add in. I just have to tell you, I watched this thing, and I think the first day that it happened, I had no idea I'd be standing here 3.5 months later, surrounded by these folks, and telling you how hard they worked to make sure the message is sent forward. They lit the fuse, the Mongols, so everybody understands this. They lit the fuse. The federal government, state government, county government, and municipalities, it's game on now. It's game on, because there's going to be a treasure trove of evidence that's going to lead to more and more indictments and arrests and put all the motorcycle gangs on notice. If you come here and you show your ass, we're going to show ours. And RJ, I know you're much calmer than I am. I'll let you take it from here.
You know, all these years as your state attorney, it's always such a pleasure, one, to be here with Mike and the rest of the crew, but also to have a chance to follow him. You know, I've kind of learned how to do that after so many years. But let me start by saying, first off, that aggravated rioting is a second-degree felony. It's punishable by a maximum of 15 years in the state prison system. It's called aggravated rioting because it is a step up from rioting. Rioting doesn't require 25 or more folks to be involved, and it also doesn't require someone other than one of the rioters to be hurt. So those are a couple of the distinctions between rioting and aggravated rioting. The other thing about putting this together that I think is so impressive is when we got started, first of all, 31 arrest warrants just in and of itself is quite remarkable. And then 17, I believe it was, we said search warrants, or right around that number. All of those arrest warrants and search warrants have to be prepared in the jurisdictions where these folks are, and not all of them were in Volusia County. There are several jurisdictions, including out of state. But we were able to put that together, work with other jurisdictions. Brevard County helped us to get an arrest warrant and a search warrant. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that evidence, those phones, etc., that are seized. There's guns that have been seized as well. And we're going to see if there's additional charges that could come out of that and additional evidence that we can use to prosecute these cases. I got to tell you, I just came from a conference in South Florida, and I had my family with me. We stopped at a gas station, you know, along the way. You know, you got kids, they're always either want something or they need to do something. And so you stop and you get gas. Can you imagine what it would be like to be filling your car up with gas or taking your grandkids by the hand and walking them into a gas station and all of a sudden fighting and then gunfire erupts? I mean, we cannot tolerate that in the state of Florida. We shouldn't tolerate it anywhere. And I am just so impressed and grateful. I've worked in the system since 1980, folks, and I have never seen the level of commitment and assistance that the FBI provided. A.G. Uthmeyer and his crew have reached out and offered to help and have helped. I mean, all of the federal and state and local partners, it's impressive. But you know what? You know why it's like that here? It's because of the relationships that we have. You know, Mike Chitwood is one of a kind. And I tell you, we haven't always agreed on things, but we've always agreed to sit down, look each other in the eye, and figure out what we need to do to make you and your family safer. And we're going to continue to do that. So I want to wish all of you a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I hope you get a little time off, and God bless America. Thank you.
What do you mean we never got along on anything? I never heard that before. To RJ's point, the FBI, not only what they did this entire investigation, over 200 agents were on the ground today. And if you look up on there, what RJ just talked about, there's where all the arrests were made throughout the county. And I want to welcome the special agent in charge, Jason Carley. He has just been transferred in to take over the Jacksonville office, and we are looking forward to a great relationship working with him. Sir?
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. I'm Jason Carley. I'm the special agent in charge for FBI Jacksonville, which includes Volusia County and the surrounding area. Today, we stand united with one clear message. We will not tolerate violent crime in our communities, and we are taking actions to protect you. I want to first thank the sheriff and the state attorney and your teams for their investigative efforts, and also your partnerships in coordinating this large-scale, complex takedown today. The relationships between our agencies are strong. They run deep, and because of that, the community is safer today. Thank you also to all of our federal, state, and local partners that helped with the takedown today. As the sheriff had mentioned, we had more than 30 agencies helping us today. We had 7 FBI offices helping today, our headquarters, U.S. Attorney's Office, and numerous state and local law enforcement agencies helping us with that takedown today. I recognize the significant time, resources, manpower that you have committed to successfully and safely take these violent offenders into custody today. It's truly impressive collaboration, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without your help. I must also recognize the men and women of the FBI who had laser focused the last couple of months on this investigation. They were among the best the FBI has to offer. I got to witness their dedication and mission today and seeing how they collaborate with all of our partners. They made me proud, and they should make you proud as well. Right now, I believe we're going to put some photos up of our team today in the command post. I don't know if we're going to have a technical issue with that. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, today there's just some photos of us, both in the command post and on scene. One of our search warrants today just showing a lot of the visuals of what collaboration we have, the partnerships we have with the sheriff here and all the entities that were participating. So I really appreciate that. And this will probably keep rolling as I speak here. The FBI has made a commitment to all Americans, each of you, that we will crush violent crime across the country. I am proud to share that the FBI is delivering on our commitment to you here in Florida. Today's operation is just one example of how we can bring the full force of our investigative capabilities to assist our local law enforcement partners and protect the community. There is no doubt Volusia County, in fact, the entire state of Florida, is safer today with these violent offenders off the street. In addition to the arrest today, the FBI and our local partners have executed 14 search warrants. One was on the Mongol clubhouse, and 13 were on several different residences. As the sheriff had said, we got right now 30 handguns, 15 long guns, over $10,000 in cash, and we believe to have marijuana, meth, and fentanyl. In addition to the state charges filed today, I can also share that one of the subjects, Michael Angel Rodriguez, has been charged federally in the Middle District of Florida with felon in possession of a weapon, as was his wife, Chloe Paulina Hayden. Ms. Hayden was not originally a target of today's operation, but was with Rodriguez at the time of his arrest, and she is now in custody. And just to be clear, the FBI's work isn't done here in Florida or across the country. Today's operation is part of the FBI's nationwide initiative called Summer Heat to crush violent crime across the summer months. As part of Summer Heat, the FBI has launched a multi-pronged approach. We will surge resources to our federal, state, and local partners. We are focusing on executing arrest warrants of violent criminals and fugitives, and we are working to dismantle violent gangs and remove drugs and guns from your streets, as we did and you can see from today. Through our FBI task forces, like the Daytona Beach Safe Streets Task Force, we are aggressively restoring safety in our communities. And these efforts are sending a clear message. The FBI will deploy every available resource to protect the American people and restore public safety in Florida and across the country. Today is just one example of that, and the FBI will work alongside with Sheriff Chitwood and all of our law enforcement partners, protect you and keep our community safe. You deserve a safe community. Thank you for your time.
New Smyrna Beach Police Chief Kirk.
Good afternoon. I don't think there's much I can add that hasn't already been said. So from New Smyrna Beach, I just want to thank the sheriff, all of his staff, the state attorney's office, the FBI, all of our law enforcement partners. This happened in our jurisdiction on the cusp of Bike Week and spring break, and was a nightmare scenario for our agency. And the collaboration and tenacity shown by all of these agencies is just so impressive, and we're very appreciative.
Thank you. And the Land Police Chief, Jason Umberger, he assigned one of his detectives to our Safe Street Task Force with the FBI. He was out there when all this went down, and we want to thank you for that.
Yeah, and I just want to echo what was already been said here. We really appreciate our partnership with the FBI. It's been unbelievable having a person on their task force, Safe Streets Task Force, and it's just an honor to work with these gentlemen and all these agencies to bring all of these people to justice and put them where they belong, not around our families and our communities. So I'm very pleased with today's outcome, and we look forward to partnering and working together in future endeavors to put violent criminals away. Thank you.
Thank you, Jace. Our Florida Attorney General has got one heck of a busy schedule. When he heard about what was happening, he was like, I got to be there. I have to be there. And we're honored to have our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, here with us today. Mr. Attorney General?
Yep. It's great to be here for yet another major takedown, another great example of well-executed law enforcement response that ultimately saves lives and protects Florida families. Florida is a rule of law state. I think everybody knows that by now. And Volusia County is a rule of law county. You got a great sheriff, great state attorney, great local authorities. I want to commend them for a job well done. Our office, our statewide prosecutors, we're here to help however we can. And it's great to be part of a collaboration across agency lines. I think that's what makes us so successful and makes us the #1 public safety state to raise a family. Sheriff, I did call over to Alligator Alcatraz. They are officially open for business, and they do have accommodations available.
We appreciate that.
So
Thank
after
you.
this guy gets booked, he might just have a one-way ticket to Alligator Alcatraz and then wherever he came from. We're committed, rule of law. We're going to stand by the federal government. We appreciate what the Trump administration is doing to put bad guys away, keep people safe, and enforce the law, restore rule of law in our country once again. So thanks again for having me.
We appreciate that very much. Thank you, sir. We're going to open it up. Anybody has any questions?
Sheriff, you talked about all the use of cell phone video, the video from the gas station. How much of that, I mean, the community came together, it seems like, to help this case out. Could you talk a little bit about that? And you know, just the need for more of that as this investigation.
The difficulty was you had no victim, right? You had 2 people shot that were Warlocks that refused to cooperate. You had people in their cars who their vehicle was shot up, refused to cooperate. All we really had was the cell phone video, and it was tons of cell phone video that people shot on 44, that shot inside of the store parking lot. They shot inside the store and the store video. So the FBI and the detectives painstakingly went through that. We even had a gang investigator, and correct me if I'm wrong back there, Sergeant, from Las Vegas contact us to help make identifications on that. That's how wide this went when people saw that, how appalled they were at the lawlessness and the violence that occurred. And the message here from all of us is this. Yeah, there's a lot of times we can't make an arrest in an hour, okay? This isn't 48 hours. This is real life. So from the minute that call came in, all of these entities were working their asses off to find out who was behind this and make our community safe and get them off the streets. And you saw that. 3.5 months is pretty damn good, in my opinion, of all of us working together to make sure justice in this gets done to this community. And the message is sent. This is not going to happen here. It's not going to happen in our state of Florida with this Attorney General. And it's not going to happen here with this state attorney.
Can I say one more thing, Sheriff? I think it's important to note, you know, we've got these anti-rioting laws that are on the books, fairly new laws. I want to thank our legislature for stepping up to deliver them, having enhanced penalties. We've been messaging we are not California. We're never going to be. If you're engaged in these violent demonstrations where you have weapons, where you're obstructing traffic, where you're putting lives in danger, you don't have to actually shoot and hurt somebody to do some serious time. So I think this aggravated rioting is a great start to allow the investigations to proceed, and it sounds like as we continue to find weapons and other evidence, this could lead to additional charges and further investigations. So it's great that we keep the public safe. You're not going to riot. You're not going to engage in violent demonstrations, and hopefully this enables law enforcement to dig deeper and find additional evidence of criminal activity.
Can anything be done to get the suspect in Virginia in custody?
We are working on it as we speak. Our extradition unit is going to apply for what's called, with the help of the state attorney, we're applying for a governor's warrant. They'll take him into custody, and the governor will demand that this scumbag gets extradited back here. And I can guarantee you he'll be met at the airport, and he won't be going to the racetrack for a cup of coffee or anything else.
How many of these people are from Volusia or Flagler County?
3 from Volusia.
Can you guys tell us which ones or give us a list?
The person that was arrested on the first night, Clint Walker was arrested by New Smyrna Beach Police Department the night of the incident. Roger Means from Edgewater was arrested today. And Baptista was arrested today in Port Orange. He's the one we're trying. He's from Bolivia. He's the one we're asking the Attorney General to give a scholarship to Alligator Alcatraz.
I don't know who would want to answer, but is there a growth in motorcycle gangs and biker gangs in the state of Florida? I understand that there are more gangs operating in the state of Florida. Anybody have any information on that?
I think there's been motorcycle gangs operating in the state of Florida since motorcycles ever came into existence.
Yeah, I heard though that they were expanding in the state.
I don't know if we can answer that. What we can say is that if you come here and you commit violent acts, you're involved in dope dealing, child pornography, you're going to get locked up. And let's keep something in mind here. The Mongols are recognized as an organized crime domestic terror group in the United States of America and internationally. So that's how big, that's how far their stench stretches. And it's not just them. It's all these outlaw motorcycle gangs. They're all into the same thing. Think back to my time here. The leader of the outlaws locked up for child pornography. You know, one of the leaders locked up for murder. So it trains, just because you wear a patch on your back, it's not just one group. They're all in this together, and they're all here to destroy the quality of life for any individuals.
Sheriff, we can answer your question. It's Menace, Baptista, and Rodriguez were arrested in Volusia.
Thank you.
And again, can you just clarify the other crimes, kind of crimes you guys have found them involved with?
Right now, we're sticking with the aggravated riot. There's a lot to play out, as you heard the FBI say, you heard the Attorney General say, you heard RJ say, this isn't over. You know, on March 6th, they lit the wick. And now you're going to see all of these entities come together, and there's a treasure trove of evidence that was recovered. All of those firearms, you think they're going to be linked to other crimes, other murders, other shootings throughout the country? I'm pretty confident we're going to see that.
Do you think what happened today can help dismantle the organization?
You know, I don't know if we're going to ever dismantle it, but I think we did a hell of a job today in disabling one portion of that group. But as you know, history has taught us, it's like whack-a-mole. You hit one here, another one pops up over there. Because there's profit in it, you know. In confusion, there's profit.
Are there, how many outlaw motorcycle clubs have clubhouses in Volusia County?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Was the clubhouse known to the sheriff's department or any of the entities?
All the clubhouses are known
They are?
to us.
Okay. And so
I mean,
they were pretty much on your guys' radar already to begin with?
but they got big signs outside, says Mongols Clubhouse.
Yeah, but
Everyone
they
else keep
ride-
out.
Yeah, they ride around with patches, and so I would imagine that the event like Bike Week, you guys get hyper aware of this, and so.
We're aware of it all the time. And they come and go. They ebb and flow. You know, I can guarantee you, if their law enforcement was in that clubhouse will no longer exist. Because they don't want to be anywhere where the cops were in already, especially if the cops use the facilities in there. They're definitely not going to look for another place to go. The sad part is you have unscrupulous business owners that will lease their property to them. Like the upstanding business owner down there where this place was. He didn't know that they were an organized terror group, that they're internationally known for crime. It's like when he had residents in Daytona renting their houses out, that you don't know what they're all about and you do it anyway. The best disinfectant to these roaches is daylight. That's what it is. And the daylight is us. It's a community and law enforcement coming together to shine light on who they are. You know, you look at that rogues gallery up there. I could tell you there'll be a local newspaper tomorrow that will write the headline where some unscrupulous person will tell you that so-and-so, he can't be a member of the Mongols. He's an upstanding man who goes to church every Sunday and helps old ladies across the street. Bullshit. But you'll read that tomorrow, trust me, or in a couple days you'll read it.
What's the name of the president of the Volusia chapter?
The guy who was Clint, why do you keep me going back to my notes? Clint Walker is considered, and Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, state rep for the Mongols.
State rep, what's that?
Anybody have any other questions? Thank you all for coming. Have a great day. That's why we don't deal with the New Journal.
Can you play the video?
Play the video, please.
I apologize, Debbie unplugged the wire earlier.
I did.
So what you got is you have the Warlocks. Well, we went too fast. Can you back up? You'll have the Warlocks come in, and they're parked up top here. They're in, you see the motorcycles, they're in the racetrack getting something to drink. Slow down, slow down, slow down. Slow down. All right, this white car here pulls in before anything else is. They're like Mongols in soft clothing. They see the Warlocks, they make a phone call, and the clubhouse is only, what, 2 miles, 3 miles up the road? You'll see the Mongols start to come in droves now. And look at the clock. We started this at 11:20. In 13 minutes, you start to see all of these Mongols pulling in. Again, you have the Warlocks up top here. And you see everybody huddled around this car. And what you're going to see is a pickup truck is going to pull in here in a little bit. It'll be on the bottom of the screen. and the state representative, Clint Walker, he's there with a couple other guys, he gets out, and it seems when he gets out of the car, that's when all hell breaks loose. So you're maybe looking at 8 to 10 to 12 Warlocks, and as this thing starts to grow, you're looking at maybe 30 or 40 or more Mongols that were all coming up from the clubhouse. And they made a beeline up 95, probably going over 100 miles an hour to get up there. So you still see them pile in. There's their colors. They obviously know this was going to happen. Again, this happened last July in Titusville, where they surrounded a group of Warlocks on US 1 and prevented them and blocked US 1, and then all hell broke loose. This is Clint Walker pulling up. He's driving the car. You see them get out. Nobody does anything until he walks over. What he's saying, we don't know, but shortly after he's there, all hell then begins to break loose. We're not showing some of the cell phone video where you can really see and you can really hear the gunshots, and you see people diving for cover, people running across 44, and here the beatdowns begin. And here's the that guy's got a gun. So like I said, there's a total of 7 guns that detectives were able to identify, 4 shooters, and then obviously game's over, everybody beats feet before the cops get there. But again, this is just one part of surveillance video. Surveillance inside of the store. There's cell phone video where you hear all the gunshots, you hear people screaming, you see people diving for cover. I mean, there's a family in an SUV, and this is today, there's your example of what happens when you're the state rep.
Do you know how many shots were fired that day?
Probably a dozen or more. There's a video where there's a guy pulls in on a bicycle. I'm really not sure what club he belongs to, but he starts to pick up the shell casings when he's there. So that's it. Thank you all.